Big coordinator news in college football. Kenny Dillingham, the offensive coordinator at the University of Florida State, a guy that is one of my favorite coaches in any level of football. An incredible, inspiring story of how he was at Chaparral High School in Arizona, how he didn't really have any connections to the coaching industry in Division I football towards ACL senior year. And then Mike Norvell, he attended coaching clinics, and Mike Norvell kind of said, just in passing, like, hey, if you ever want to stop by, kind of as a courtesy. And most people, when a coach says, hey, stop by a practice sometime, it's usually like a passing, like, yeah, okay, just being courteous to the individual, like, I'll see you around sort of thing. But Kenny Dillingham literally was crazy enough and had the ambition, and I love this about him. He went to every single practice he could at Arizona State. And he was there all the time. And it takes a certain amount of confidence when you're not on staff to attend every single practice of Mike Norvell's when you're a young 22-year-old, because it takes guts to be somewhere where you're not a paid coach and everybody knows you're a high school coach, and you have to tiptoe around, you have to be respectful. But Kenny Dillingham took in all the notes of Mike Norvell, and he was at Chaparral High School, which is a really good high school for recruits. Mike Norvell saw the talent of Kenny Dillingham, and ever since that, it's been a marriage in heaven for the two guys in terms of college football coaching. Kenny Dillingham then goes to Arizona State, works with Norvell there, and then Norvell has the confidence to pretty much reward Dillingham at Memphis as they coordinate together. Then Dillingham leaves the Norvell tree, goes off with Gus Malzahn from Memphis to the SEC at Auburn. And Auburn, Gus Malzahn pretty much ran the show, and Dillingham didn't have a lot of input. It was kind of a tough time for him. That's just speculating. Bo Nix kind of struggled. And then Kenny Dillingham, he jumped at the opportunity kind of as a lifeline to go with Mike Norvell to Florida State. And now they're trying to build this program together. Jordan Travis showed signs of life. There's been some disappointing games like Jacksonville State. Not beating Florida without a head coach is really a tough loss. But they also were able to beat Boston College. They were able to beat Miami. And they were able to somehow scratch to almost making a bowl game. So he's trying to progress his coaching career. He's very comfortable at Florida State. Now the point is for Dillingham is that people will view him in the coaching industry. He does have to follow Norvell's playbook, but the two think alike, so it shouldn't be that much of a problem. He loves selling the Florida State brand. He's a tireless recruiter, youthful energy at 31 years old, one of the unique characters in college football. Incredibly entertaining, upbeat coach, always looking to evolve, adapt, and just a guy who loves the game of football and is just so passionate about it. And I think that he's coming around with Jordan Travis and a young QB room that had to understand the system. I think Florida State is on the precipice of a really big year. But then his buddy, Dan Lanning, who he coached with at the University of Memphis, lands one of the bigger jobs in college football, lands the Oregon job. And Oregon is a school where you have all the money to recruit. You have the brand of Nike. And it's in Eugene, and he's also really tight with Dan Lanning, and then he isn't under the Norvell umbrella. He actually, unlike Auburn, gets to run his own show as an offensive coordinator at the University of Oregon. So it's an offer that is appeasing to Dillingham, or it's an offer that is somewhat attractive to Dillingham, and he's considering the offer right now. It's a tough decision. It's not a head coaching job. It's to coordinate the offense. It's to do it with Dan Lanning. But he already owes Mike Norvell and Florida State a lot for taking him back in from Auburn. So it's a really tough spot. If there's not an incredible pay raise, then maybe Norvell stays at Florida State. Dillingham. But It's an incredible storyline. For Dillingham's career, what am I rooting for? It's tough. You kind of want to see the loyalty to Florida State pay out for their fans and for Mike Norvell. At the same time, I'd be lying if I didn't say that I was really excited about Dan Lanning's press conference today, and I think Oregon could have landed a gem, and I would love to see what Norvell does under Phil Knight, under Nike's logo, and really running his own show, unrestricted with Dan Lanning, creating his own image and identity. If the offer is good, I think there's a chance that Kenny goes to Oregon. Either way, to have his name circulate, it's all positive. I think these are good options for Dillingham. The safer option is to stay at Florida State. It's a story worth monitoring, as in the next couple of days after signing day, Dillingham is likely to make a decision. With him not signing from Oregon immediately, there was a deal. I heard that there was a deal that was presented to Dillingham, and that Kenny decided to wait and did not accept that deal. So that could be telling. Maybe he's leaning towards staying at Florida State. Again, we're going to monitor this story. This is one of the biggest coordinators in college football, a guy who I think is a young phenom in the profession, a guy that could be a head coach very soon, just like Dan Lanning. Big opportunity for Kenny Dillingham. Again, one of my favorites, a guy that maybe I'll meet someday, but a guy that, again, loves football, love listening to his press conferences. And with his offense at Florida State, yeah, it's been unbalanced. Yeah, they might run the ball a little bit too much, play a little conservatively. But again, he's a guy that'll study a defense. And at Memphis with Norvell, they had that thing rolling. And with Jordan Travis progressing, with the wide receivers they're getting, this could be an offense that, again, in year 3, again, second year without the virus year, this could be an offense of Florida State that goes. So this is a real tough decision for Kenny Dillingham. So we'll monitor the situation.